Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 78-year-old male. Now, first thing I recommend is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. And we've got these free quoters on just about every page. And all you need to do is select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies with the lowest pricing. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment as well, too. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. But really, let's start out here. Really what a 78-year-old male should be asking himself is, is $15,000 going to cover my final expense needs? Typically, that's going to be cremation or burial. Let's just take them in that order. So if a 78-year-old male is looking for a cremation, the average cost of a cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn is going to be $1,000 to $2,000 on average. If you're going to have a cremation plus some sort of a ceremony, maybe a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, something like that, that's probably going to be right around $3,500 to $4,500. So as far as coverage, for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we'd probably recommend around $5,000 to $7,000. Now you might be going, well, hold on, Randy. You said cremation was $2,000 and you recommended a $5,000 policy. Why is that? Well, I'm sure our 78-year-old male would be happy to make it to 88 as long as he's in good health, right? But that's a possibility. And we know that things get more expensive over time due to inflation. So we want to build some extra coverage in there just to inflation-proof the plan. And what that does is just make sure that we don't have to come and add coverage later. So if we get that $5,000 or $7,000, whatever it would be, that's going to inflation-proof that plan for years to come ahead. And then also, God forbid you died sooner than you thought, and 1, 2, 3, 4 years. And, there's also extra money from the insurance to take care of maybe some unexpected final expenses that you would have paid off if you would have stayed alive, maybe medical bills, credit card bills, something like that. So it works really terrific. It actually protects you on the back end from inflation, but on the front end protects your family from some other expenses. So if you're looking at the cremation plus some sort of a ceremony, we typically recommend $7,000, maybe to $10,000, something like that. But again, that protects you on the long side, the back end with the inflation, but also on the front end with any extra expenses that might just pop up. Now, if you're looking at getting a burial, the actual cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with the $10,000 check, they should help you get it done. It's hard to believe they would say no and tell you to walk out the door and, you could walk 2 blocks down to their competitor and give them the money. Just understand, it's not going to be a fancy funeral by any means at $10,000. That's kind of what the cost is right now. So we would typically recommend probably around $10,000 to $15,000 for a 78-year-old male. Some people might want to go $20,000 if they got a real fancy affair going on, but typically, $10,000 to $15,000 is going to be fine. If you do the $10,000, that takes care of your base core needs right now. Just understand we may have to come back and add a little bit more coverage later. So if you can afford to do that at your younger age, that's definitely going to be to your advantage. Now, we do get some people that come in and say, hey, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of insurance because I want to leave some money behind for my kids. Well, I can tell you one thing, that's going to be fairly expensive at age 78. You should not have waited so long if that's what you wanted to do. We'll also get some people that say, hey, if I can't do $50,000, I'm not going to do anything. And boy, it breaks our hearts when we hear that because, the reason the price is high is because you waited until age 78, not your family did anything wrong. So just the fact that you procrastinated and put this off, don't say it's an all or nothing deal. What we really actually recommend is you get the insurance for your final expense needs. Just get that taken care of so your family isn't going to have to take on that burden and put it on credit cards with 26% interest rate. Don't do that to them. And then if you want to do a separate policy for your kids, then you can do that separately. But that way it always protects their final expense needs. So that's really a great way of doing it. Now, one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. So what that means is, hypothetically, if your policy were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would pay your family. They'd write them that check for 15, 20, 25,000, whatever it is. They would do it. That's the coverage you want. It's the best coverage. It's also going to have the lowest pricing. So, we don't recommend those 2-year waiting period plans. I can tell you that. We don't recommend them. I'll get into that in just a minute. But as far as first day coverage, sometimes people will say, well, Randy, you're right. I do want that first day coverage, but now I'm not in the greatest of health, and I've heard they have health questions, and I'm worried I may not qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our concern, not your concern, at least from an insurance standpoint. And the reason we say that is that, we work with a bunch of different insurance companies. They all have different underwriting requirements, and they all ask different health questions. And right now, we're getting right about 95% of the people we can help with either first day coverage or benefits. So we're really great at what we do. Really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and we're going to live less than 12 months. Maybe you had dementia or dialysis, or you're in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd typically refer you out to a different insurance company. One thing also that seems to happen every week is somebody will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get that check to the funeral home guy so we can get everybody buried. We have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a plan on somebody who's already dead. You actually have to be alive to qualify for one of these plans. And it's really sad the family member died and did not have this taken care of. They knew they were going to die. They probably thought about getting this in the past and they didn't get it done. And now this burden's going to fall onto their family, who probably doesn't have the money, and they're going to have to put it on credit cards at 26% interest, and they're going to be paying on this for years and years and years. What a terrible legacy to leave behind for your family. You could have done everything else right in life, and you messed this one last thing up. That's how you're going to be remembered. So don't be that person. Don't be selfish. Get this in place. It's affordable. We can always help you start small and add more coverage later if your budget or finances is an issue. Let us help with that. Now, one thing we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Now, Colonial Penn, I don't know, you probably heard of them before. They advertise like crazy for that $9.95 plan on TV. I think they play those commercials every 7 minutes, it seems. But yeah, so their $9.95 plan, if you didn't know this, that thing's a 2-year waiting period plan. Yeah, we don't recommend that at all. No, not if you can qualify for first day coverage. Never settle for a 2-year waiting period plan. And they're not the only company out there. There's other companies that offer those, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG Gerber. Man, there's just a host of other different companies out there that's all they offer is 2-year waiting period plans. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, that the only thing you qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. To which we always say, don't fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 78-year-old male is probably thinking he's kind of outsmarted Colonial Penn because he waited until age 78, and now he's going to go get some $9.95 insurance. And he probably thinks he's going to get like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for only $9.95. And then our 78-year-old male calls Colonial Penn, talks with one of their agents, or goes on their website like we've done for you here, and sees that a 78-year-old male, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95, is only going to pay out $468. Now, that's not even enough for a cremation. And it wouldn't even matter if it was, because it's got a 2-year waiting period that it's not going to pay out for any health or medically related cause of death. So yeah, there's some people that would say that companies like this that offer those teaser rates, $9.95, right? Teaser rate, that they actually don't want to sell you the teaser rate, right? They don't want to sell you $468. They want to sell you a lot more coverage because it's a lot more profitable for them. So we're not saying that Colonial Penn would ever do something like that. I guess some people might say that, and I guess you might kind of just make your own determination by the fact that for $9.95, you're only going to get $468. So now I know we're looking for $15,000. The challenge at age 78 with Colonial Penn is they max out at 15 units. And we are not going to come close to $15,000. Look at this. They max out just due to your age. The maximum you can get from Colonial Penn is $7,020 for 15 units. You're going to get stuck with a 2-year waiting period, and you're going to pay right around $150 a month. Let's see what first day coverage would be for $15,000. So we got $15,000 here, male, age 78. We're going to get our quote. We're going to go back and double check this. Again, that's $7,000 for $150. Look at this. So we can get, I want to show you this again, 15,000 here. So we can get 15,000 for around 177, 180, probably on average 180 if we just blend out the top 3 companies here. But you look at that and it's like $30 more a month, but you're getting 15,000 versus 17,000. So you're getting $8,000 more coverage for only, another $27, $30, something like that. So yeah, why would you do that? I mean, essentially, this is less expensive, but the coverage is well less than half. So you're just tremendously overpaying. In a lot of cases, we see Colonial Penn, quite often they're right around, plus or minus, but they're right around 200% more expensive than first day coverage. So just understand that, you're technically overpaying. And why would you ever overpay when you can get a lower price or get more insurance for the same amount of money? It makes no sense at all. So we don't recommend that at all. So you just got to be a smart consumer. And, it's okay if you're not a smart consumer. We can help you be a smart consumer. Yeah. But let's take a look. Let's look at some other companies. You're about 175-ish there. Let's see. Here's a company, 201. It is first day coverage, but it's like about $25 more a month, roughly. So it's around $300 a year more, right? 25 times 12 is $300 a year. If our 78-year-old male makes it to age 88, you'll end up paying right around $3,000 extra, roundabout. Why would you ever overpay $3,000? We recommend you keep that money in your own pocket. And you do that by, letting us help you get the lowest price coverage, not just the one that you see advertised the most. Let's look at another one. Oh, here's another one. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but look at that price. Holy guacamole. It is level coverage, but yeah, so Lincoln Heritage, they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2-3 different funeral homes and get you the best pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but they charge money for that. They don't do it for free. It's as you see, it's quite a bit more expensive. That's roughly right around $240 versus $175-ish. Let me see. That's around $60 more a month, and $60 a month times 12 months is right around $720 a year that you'd be overpaying. If you kept that policy for 10 years, our 78-year-old, now 88, you have overpaid right around $7,200 by going with Lincoln Heritage over a lesser price company. And holy cow, man, we never recommend you give $7,000 to a company when you don't have to. And a lot of people would say that's an amazing payday for the insurance company for them to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple other things that might only take an hour or so to do. And then you essentially overpay them $7,200. We don't recommend that at all. What we actually do recommend is let us help you qualify for and get approved for a lower price insurance company. And then what we do is we've got a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you can download that off our website and then print it out. And once it's printed out, you just complete it and you write down who gets what and what goes where and what you want done after you're gone. And then you keep that with your insurance policy. And now when you pass away, your children or loved ones will go to that one place and they're going to see both the insurance policy and the funeral and estate planning guide. And they're going to know that you protected them financially with the insurance, but also emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide, because all they need to do is open that guide up and just follow your wishes, just execute your wishes. And they will have that peace of mind knowing that they're doing everything exactly the way you wanted to do it. And you've also provided the funds to do it so they're not burdened financially. And what a wonderful gift of love to leave behind. They're going to know that you not only love them in life, but also love them when they would need it the most. And, after you died and you took care of them in advance. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So what we do is just recommend go to funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quarter at funeralfunds.com/YouTube. That's especially for our YouTube visitors. And you can get the best rates and pricing right there. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can run the rates for you, help you understand what you qualify, answer any questions. But if you've got an existing policy that you want us to see if we can save you money on or see if we can add coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for a brand new policy or just have some questions or want more information, we can certainly help you out with that. But we really look forward to the day when we can get you the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. And we will be blessed to help you with that at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.